Hey beauties, it's Jen, Pinch of Pretty. So today I'm going to be doing a review on the Real Technique brushes. I've used these brushes for a while now. At first when I decided to review these, I hadn't used the brushes at all, and I thought that it was so unfair of me to not use the brushes and then go on YouTube and tell you guys how I feel about them. I guess that could have been a first impressions video. But either way, I'll tell you my first impressions as well as how I feel about the brushes after using them. Now, at first impression, when I received these brushes, they came into this box from Ulta. The brushes were buy one, get one half off, and I purchased the core collection as well as the powder brush, the blush brush, and the expert base brush. Now, my total was $39, which I believe was a very, very reasonable price. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you why I didn't like the brushes. I didn't like the brushes because when I got them, they were extremely smaller than how they seemed on YouTube. So to save you guys the time of ordering them, in case you like bigger brushes like myself or brushes with longer handles, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the brushes and tell you the measurements as well. Okay, so the first set of brushes that I'm going to show you from the Real Technique line is the core collection. Okay, now the core collection comes in a plastic package such as this, and it gives you a kind of a demo or description of the brushes that are included in the set and what the brushes are suggested for. Okay, and it also has just a little short message from Sam from Pixie Woo of YouTube, and it also comes with a stand for your brushes. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this. All you do is put your brushes. When you get it, it comes like this. So it comes with four brushes, and the four brushes are in here, and it has a piece of Velcro holding it together, and it just sits inside of the plastic thing like this. Okay. Now, when you take out the brushes, or you can leave them in there, but when you do want to use this as a stand, you just simply let go of the Velcro, fold this down, and then it has this clasp right here, and you just pull the clasp just a little tight, not too much, depending on how high you want the arch in this to be, and it just stands, and you can have all your brushes. Let me show you. You can have all your brushes standing right here on your beauty counter, or what do they call those? I forget what they call them, but yeah, this is just the stand that it comes with. Okay, now the core collection. First is the concealer brush. This concealer brush is very, very small. I honestly did not use it for concealer at all. I used it for eye work, where I would want to highlight my inner tear duct area or my inner lid area. That's what I mostly use this for. I really did not use it for anything else, okay? And this is not a concealer brush. I am mistaken. It is a detailed brush, so I guess I was using it for its correct purpose. It says on here that it is used, it is the precision cut to effortlessly conceal problem areas, or use with lipstick for long-lasting shape and definition. So yes, like always, brushes are multi-purposes, but she did suggest that you can use these for different reasons besides concealer, but this is the detailer brush and not the concealer brush, as I said, but you do use it for concealer. It's suggested to use it for concealer. Now I'm going to give you the measurements on the brush because it is very, very small, and I want you guys to know the measurements of the brush, because I know it's going to appear a lot bigger on video. Okay, so I'm just doing the bristles. Well, I'll do the whole brush since I'm just going that far anyway. Okay, so the brush is about 5 5/8 inches, and the bristles on the brush, I'm going to have to do it by centimeters, is about 1 centimeter high. The next brush we have is the contour brush, and this brush, honestly, I felt like this is what really made me try out the collection, because this is really what I wanted. It's not what it appeared to be on YouTube when I watched videos. It was a lot smaller, but this is the main reason why I purchased the collection, as well as purchased from Real Techniques period. It is great for contouring. I would say if you are not a fan of kind of a harsh contour, something that is so precise and not really blended out and spread. It's going to be very, very harsh, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because I do like for my contour to be harsh. I like it to be noticeable, and if you don't like that, I wouldn't suggest that you use this brush for that. It is a great brush for a highlighter as well, and I did use it to sweep out translucent powder from under my eyes, and it is great because of the tapered ends. It is great for doing so. Okay, so I really did like this brush. Okay, so the bristles are 1 1/4 of an inch high and 1/2 inch wide. Okay, so that's the contour brush. Next up is the pointed foundation brush. This I didn't even try to use this for foundation. I used it to conceal under my eyes, applying liquid concealer, and it was great for that. I do like the taperedness to it because it gets in and around the eyes very well. Okay, so the bristles on this brush are 1/2 inch wide and 1 inch high, and the entire brush is about 6 inches itself. The last brush from the Core Collection brush, which a lot of people rave about, is the buffing brush. Okay, now this buffer brush is for liquid foundation, mineral foundation, any kind of foundation. That's really what it is suggested for. And I have to tell you, this is the brush that I did not like the most out of all of the brushes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you the measurements, and then I'm going to tell you what I really didn't like about this brush, a real reason. Okay, 6 inches high. I think all of them are pretty much 6 inches high. The bristles on the brush, at the bottom it's less than 1 inch, and at the top it's about 1.5 inches wide, and the bristles are 1 inch and 1/4 high. Okay, now this brush, I did not like this brush for foundation because it was too small. I wouldn't say that the handle is too fat, but it's too short for me. A lot of people like the length of these brushes, but I did notice that as I was buffing in my foundation, my hand became, or my wrist became very tired, and I really did not like that. I've never experienced that before with any of my other brushes, so that was just a major letdown for me. And like I said, this is a very small brush. I gave you the measurements, so you know, at least you know the length of the bristles and the width of the bristles. You don't really know the complete dimension, the diameter of the bristles, but I'm letting you know now that this is a small brush for foundation, in my opinion. If you are someone who is going to spend time on your foundation, then this is a great brush for you. But I like to just dab my foundation down into my palette, take my brush and just put it on within less than about 15 seconds. I don't take that long to put on foundation, and this brush would make applying foundation a very long, kind of strenuous process, in my opinion. So I really didn't like this brush for that. Okay, next up is the powder brush. The powder brush came in a package like the powder brush came in this package. Okay, it was just inside here. This is basically how all the other brushes come, in a separate little case like this. Okay, this brush is a good powder brush. It's not better than any powder brush that I have. I do like the fact that it is so big, so that does make it a great powder brush. If you do like that, it is really big. It's one of the biggest powder brushes that I've ever seen. I'm going to give you the dimensions of it in a few seconds. I didn't like this brush because it was kind of too large. If you're patting on your foundation, great, but if you want to use the bristles, it's not going to get everywhere under the eyes and stuff like that. So it's not a bad brush. If I had to purchase it again, or had the chance to purchase it again, I honestly would purchase it again because it's not a bad brush, and I did get these items buy one get one half off. So maybe I would purchase this brush even if it wasn't on sale, but it's just not that great of a brush that I feel like I have to tell you guys, go out and get this powder brush. It's like the best powder brush ever. Now I can say that all of these brushes are extremely soft. The fiber that it's made out of is Takalon. I believe it's Takalon. So it's animal cruelty free. These are very soft. They dry very easily compared to the other brushes with natural bristles, like such as elf brushes or whatever. These dry very quickly. Yeah, so the dimensions on this brush I believe the whole entirety is probably going to be about 6 inches. It's a little bigger than 6 inches. Okay, so about 7 inches high. Okay, and the width of the bristles, the widest point is 2 inches exactly, and the height of the bristles is 2 inches as well. So 2 inches high and 2 inches wide. So this is a very, very big powder brush, and it's good. It is a good brush to do all over powder. Next up is the blush brush. I love this pink. I love this pink. That's the first thing that I have to say. That caught my eye. I love it. This brush is about 7 inches high as well in its entirety, and the widest point of the bristles is 1.5 inches, and the height of it is 2 inches exactly. Now, I do love this brush for blush application. It's not the greatest blush brush ever. I have better blush brushes than this, such as Eco Tools. It is better than my BH Cosmetics small angle brush, though. I can't say that. I would purchase this brush again if I had the chance to do it all over again. Now, what you want to do when you're using this is dab it in the blush like this, and then you want to apply it and then use the tapered ends right here. If you can see, you can use the tapered ends to smooth out and to blend out the blush so that it won't be so harsh. So this is a great brush for that. It's not the greatest blush brush in the world, like I said, but it is a good blush brush to have. So if you do feel like you want to try it out, I would suggest to try it out. Okay, the last brush that I purchased from Real Techniques was the Expert Face Brush, and this was the brush that I honestly wanted the most besides the contour brush. This brush seemed fabulous. I honestly would prefer to use this brush for contour. I honestly would also like this brush to use it as a contour. A lot of people use it for foundation, and I have seen Sam on her Pixie Woo channel use this brush for foundation. Don't like it for foundation. Again, it's just like the buffing brush, too small. My arms were getting tired, and I really didn't like this brush. It just didn't do anything for me. It wasn't anything special like people made it seem on YouTube. Okay, again, the entire brush is 6 inches high. The widest point of the brushes is about 1.5 inches, and the height of the hairs on the brush is 1 inch. So okay, 1.5 inches wide for the bristles and 1 inch high for the bristles of this brush. Okay guys, so all in all, these brushes are okay. They're not the greatest brushes. I have e.l.f. brushes that do exactly the same, and some of the e.l.f. brushes I feel are better. If not, no, they are better. And that's just simply my opinion. I will lead you to a link of someone else's YouTube video, and she was the first person who I saw who really honestly didn't rave about the brushes like everybody else on YouTube did. Not that I'm telling you not to go get these brushes. I'm just letting you know that I was not really that much of a fan of it after purchasing it. I was all hyped up, and it just didn't really, there was no bang factor for me. But these brushes are okay. They're not the greatest brushes ever, and I do feel like they are worth having, especially since I purchased all of these brushes for $39. But all in all, I kind of don't really like the brushes. They are, the shortness of the brushes is very tiring. The brushes that you would use to buff in foundation or mineral foundation or mineral powder, I really did not like the fact that my wrist was hurting. And again, the brushes are too small. That was the biggest thing for me, as well as the setting brush to highlight and the stippling brush. I saw those at Ulta, and I immediately knew I didn't want them because they were extremely small. You guys, I'm letting you know that these brushes are small, okay? So like I said, all in all, I don't like the size of these brushes, and it just makes the work so tiresome, and I just have other brushes that I feel, you know, are better than these brushes for me to use. So I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. I will leave the link to where I purchased these brushes in the information bar, as well as the other video that I spoke about before. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave any questions that you have, as well as any comments or requests in the comment section, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.